welcome back guys to another episode. We're doing something a little bit different today. We're heading up the Sunshine Coast. I've spent the last about 3 hours, that's probably not 3 hours, last 2.5 hours heading up the Sunshine Coast because we're going to go and help my granddad out with cleaning his big boat down. I'm sure you guys have seen it. I'm sure you guys can probably remember from some of the other reef fishing videos and that we've done. We've been out on it before, but he hasn't had it up on the slips, which is where you pull the boat out and you basically put on a big hanger so that you can clean it all down and stuff like that. So yeah, we're pulling it out today. It's a big boat. I can't remember the exact size. We'll find out when we get there anyway. I'll get him to sort of give you a bit of a rundown on what size the boat is and stuff like that. But we're going to pull it out, we're going to clean it down, clean all the growth off it basically, burn it all off, and then we're going to apply a new coat of what's called antifouling. So it's basically just like a growth inhibitor, helps protect the bottom of the hull. And yeah, so stay tuned guys, it is going to be a little bit different. I have prettied myself up for the occasion. I've shaved and I've cleaned up, got a haircut, so I look a little bit more presentable on camera. Not so rough and ready, but yeah, if you're new to the channel guys, definitely hit that subscribe button, like this video if it's something you're interested in. Let me know in the comments below as well. Like, it is going to be a bit of a different video guys, so there's going to be a lot more talking. There's not going to be any fishing, I'm afraid, but I hope you're going to enjoy it all the same. If this isn't your style of video, I'll throw a link up just for another video. I've got heaps of other fishing videos on the channel guys, so if it's not something that you're interested in, there's heaps of other content that I have that you can enjoy. So sit back, relax, and yeah, let's go clean the boat. Yeah, of all the places. Oh. GoPro's ready.
Oh, excellent. He's washing waterballs. Had trouble getting there.
Yeah.
With all that rain, they couldn't get anybody else to give us a space to get in.
Oh, really? Jeez. Oh, it looks so little.
Oh, poor baby.
Hey. Very nice. Oh yeah, prop looks pretty dirty, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit sluggish coming up the river, eh?
I reckon.
Yeah.
They all be joined together.
Yeah, like yeah. Nearly have a reef.
Yeah.
Well, mate.
Yeah, that's not wrong.
No.
How you been?
Oh, bloody exhausted.
Exhausted?
Yeah.
Working too hard?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah. Smells good, smells like river. G'day guys, let's hook into it. Obviously you can see that I have already grabbed the gun off my granddad and I'm hooking straight in. We're just cleaning down that hull, making sure we get rid of any growth off the sides. They're going around with scrapers, trying to knock off all the barnacles and any loose oysters. Now, the fresh water itself actually loosens up a fair bit of those barnacles and oysters too. Fresh water seems to sort of kill them off and it makes it a little bit easier to knock them off with a scraper. It was a bit of a mission to get it done, so it took a couple of hours there trying to clean all that stuff off. As you can see there, I'm hooking in, cleaning down the stern. Bit of the anti-foul comes off as well at the same time. That's okay, we're going to put a new coat on anyway. But it'll make it a lot easier when we get to the sanding process. We're not having to go and sand all this dirt, grime, barnacles, shellfish, all that sort of stuff off at the same time. So you're going to try and clean it down as best as possible. And you know, obviously you're going to get wet in the process. There's no two ways around it. And a couple of little oysters. There's one there. Quick, pick it up, on tray. A good cluster there on the rudder. Needs probably another couple of years. So you're looking at about 2.5 years of growth on that prop and rudder there, guys. So it did sit in the water for a fair while, in between trying to get it up on the slip. Grandad's been quite busy in that lately, and it's always a little bit hard to get money to put her up on the slip. But we, hooked in. As you can see there, I'm trying to get as much of that barnacle and shell growth off as I can, just loosen it up even if, and then we went around afterwards and busted most of them off with a scraper and hammer. So it didn't really take quite too long to get the prop and the rudder after we'd hit it with the fresh water and the high pressure. It did sort of dissolve slash knock off a fair bit of the bulk and a fair bit of the growth. And we actually found a couple of crabs hiding up in the nooks and crannies as well. But you should have heard the noise it made when we tried to spin that prop. It was proper crusty. Yummy.
Instead of that, it was a big booger.
I don't know anymore. What's what? Yeah. Which tastes nicer? One's just less salty. Look at that. Yummy. That's a good one. Yeah. Pull most of it off. A little bit of anode. Teeny bit. I reckon the prop's going to be a bit harder. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Yummy. Should have got a little bit of table salt.
Soy sauce.
Yeah? Gonna have a look? Sweet.
Oh, that's kind of like it.
Yeah. So there's another bit of
You
food.
alright, or
Yeah,
just picked up again then?
Just keep at it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Sweet.
So I just will let you know anyway.
Yeah, thanks.
No worries.
Yeah, I fixed that yesterday, so
all
obviously
right.
the fittings fucked. So
Yeah, a bit warm. Okay,
Very easy.
really good. There's your camera, hold it on. You going?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's going. Oh.
Oh, YouTube. You want to be on YouTube?
no.
No. Hang on, which way around should go? That way.
That way.
Yeah.
You got it the right way around.
Or me. me and you.
So yeah, obviously I was a little bit hungry there, eating some of the oysters that were blowing back in my face. No, seriously it wasn't. They were disgusting. Definitely would not recommend.
Oh, why?
I won't bore you too much with most of this cleaning footage. We do a fair bit of it off camera as well, but just so you guys can see some of the bulk of it at least, because it is quite interesting. I was quite surprised at how much growth was actually on there.
How long does this go for, Josh?
Just a battery right now.
Oh,
Heaps
right.
of batteries.
Oh, no good.
Oh, nice and clean.
Well done.
I think so.
Yeah. Feel good now, feel like shit.
Hey.
Bit better?
Well, all nice and clean now anyway. no longer getting around on barnacle power. Oh, did you want some? They're still sitting back there. Yeah, I had them all hanging down my mustache and on my cheek. I'm pretty sure they were oysters.
You get some good piggies?
Oh yeah, definitely. Alright, so as you can see there, she's up on the hangers. I just clapped my hands for no apparent reason, I don't know why. But they're just getting it in, they're lining her up, they're putting it down on blocks, securing it basically so that we can then go to work, sanding it all down and getting it prepped for anti-foul. Crash bang.
Sand the guys down too?
Alright guys, so we're just cleaning down the hull. Just going to sand her up a little bit first. We'll put a new coat of anti-fouling on, just rough up the surface there, just so it's going to take that paint a lot better, that anti-fouling a lot better. So prepare for another montage. Oh, thank you very much for leading me into it. But as I have already just said, the sanding process is, definitely necessary to etch that surface, just so that the anti-foul is going to adhere to the new or to the old surface or the current surface that we got there. So it's fairly involved. There's a fair bit of work in doing it. Obviously, many hands make light work. We were actually down a worker. My aunt had broken her finger grabbing a couple of sawhorses and bringing them down to us. So Grandad and her went off to the medical centre so she could get fixed up. So that left me with the glorious process of sanding. Look at me go. Look at that arm work. My forearms were rippling after that. Look at that. Oh, I'm so quick. Look at that. Look how quick I am. Don't tell the missus I'm that quick, but it was good fun. I didn't mind it. It was hard work, but I didn't mind it. And then same thing. I'm not going to walk you through the whole process, but you see me do one side and I had to do the other side as well, and the stern or the transom, that also had to be done too. So it took me about, I don't know, 2-3 hours to do it, but we got there in the end. Moving on to the prop and rudder as well as the shaft as well. We're just going over it with a wire buff and a sanding disc basically, because you don't really want to actually rub back the surface too much. You more so want to polish it off. It's a copper slash brass. It's copper slash brass compound. So it's actually quite a soft metal. You don't really want to sand it back too much. You just really want to sort of polish and knock off all of that growth that's been sitting on there and clean up that surface as much as you can. Basically think of it as like a battery terminal. You want to try and have it absolutely polished so that when you do put your what's called prop speed on, it's going to protect that metal as best it can. And also another thing, a little tip that Grandad has pointed out is you want to make sure that you put your anodes on before you put your prop speed on, because there's no point in having an anode on there if you're going to have it over the top of your prop speed. It's not going to do anything. You've got a layer of like paint sort of substance between the two metal surfaces, so they're not actually going to protect the metal from corrosion. They're just going to do them. They'll get eaten away, but they're not going to do what they're designed to do. So that's a hot little tip there. I didn't notice it, but yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So as you can see, I'm just going through, I'm getting all the little nooks and crannies in that, and Grandad's going over it with the sanding disc. He's just getting all the bigger, larger, flat surfaces that are just a little bit easier to get to with the disc. Chipping out a few barnacles that we missed, and then I go through and I actually start taking all the anodes off and replacing the anodes while he carries on and sands that prop down. But basically you've got one anode that sits on your shaft, two that sit up on the side of the prop support, one on your rudder, and then you'll have a few more around the boat, and that'll just prevent rust, corrosion, electrolysis of the actual boat itself, and just protects it. It just becomes a sacrificial metal basically, or it is a sacrificial metal. So I'm not an expert on it, but if you do have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section below, guys. I'm happy to answer. I'm happy to talk to somebody like my granddad who knows his stuff, and he'll be happy to tell me, and I can relay it to you guys. But I hope you enjoyed the cleaning side of it. We didn't actually have time on that day to be able to put the anti-foul or the prop speed on. Really sorry, guys. I'm sure next time when we do go put the boat up on the slips, I might have that time to be able to do it. And if you really want to, I could probably put that into a video on its own. Bit hard to get in there, isn't it?
Yeah,
Bit awkward.
not much I missed on.
Nah. It's all nice and clean. The anodes have definitely done their job.
Yeah, they work well, huh?
Alright, so everything's all clean. Anodes are on. Shaft's clean, props clean. Couple anodes go up here, anode on the rudder. Looks a million times better. You couldn't even see it before. That looks 10 times better. Whew. It's a bit of work. Well. That was, yeah, it was quite a day. Good days of labour, anyway. We got it done. We didn't get to the point of being able to put the anti-fouling on, but as you guys would have seen, we did get a fair bit of the cleaning side of it done, so that helped out my granddad a heap. Very appreciative, so like it's very good. It's good that he can actually go through tomorrow. He's just going to put the anti-fouling on, put the prop speed and stuff like that on to help obviously inhibit rust, inhibit growth on the hull. So it's a really good outcome for the day. Bit of a different video. I'm sure some people out there probably not really going to be fussed on it. That's fine. But for those of you that are interested, you know, drop a like. Let me know. Tell me in the comments if you actually liked it. I'm always curious to know if you guys are liking some of the content that I put out. And the feedback I do get from time to time, like, I really love it, guys. So definitely hit me up in the comments, chat, whatever you want to call it. So with that being said, guys, this is the end of the video. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It does help. And thanks for following this little video along anyway, guys. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. I'm gonna go get something to eat because I'm hungry. I've worked hard. I've copped a fair bit of oyster to the face, so that was very yummy. Alright, guys, see you in the next one. Remember, 80-20, that's fishing.